Welcome back to the channel, people. My name is Mr. London Plumber, and if you're a young black person looking to get into construction, you're in the right place because today we're going to cut the faff, cut the bullshit, and tell you what it's really like. First things first, I want to remind you that if you are black getting into construction, you have to work 2 times harder to be seen in the same room as everybody else. Just off the simple factor that we're living in a country which is widely populated if you're in the UK. And that's what this video is about. So, showcasing your talent and your skill is something which you will have to outshine others to be recognized and to be seen as of someone of good character by working your fucking bollocks off. Working your ass off and sometimes oddly, occasionally licking ass and being around the right type of people and saying that you're willing to do everything knowingly that you might not be able to fulfill those things, but willing to burn out while you're trying to do it. That shouldn't be your whole outlook on the industry, but it generally does happen to a lot of people. If you look at the industry in a whole, there is only 1% of black managers, black and brown managers in like corporate and like construction systems, right? So systematically, there isn't anybody that looks like you, but it shouldn't hold you off from not doing it because obviously times will fucking change. Whether it's in my lifetime, whether it's in your lifetime, it will change. But you need people who are willing to break barriers, break stigmas of what someone thinks of someone who is of color doing construction, doing that industry. Because generally people do have this idea of how the fuck you are instead of asking you. They might say something to you like, hey, Jermaine, you know David from Brixton, don't you? No, I don't know him. I've just come here and I'm not from any of those places. I live in Essex. Oh, is it? I thought you might know him. You got to understand that that is someone trying to make their little funny joke because Jermaine is another black person. You're another black person. That's how the banter starts as what is casual joking. But to everyone, they're not going to take that lightly. Do you understand? Different generations are going to put up with certain things and other people are not. When you look at a lot of like football hooligans and people like that, yeah, they're like construction people, you know. Don't ever get it twisted. That's who they are, not secretly, overtly. Do you get it? Roofers, these types of people. That's the types of people. So what I find difficult is people's lack of intelligence, but that's not my place to be grading people on how intelligent you are, what things you know, what do you know about the world, what do you know about what people who are black have contributed to it, and how you feel about it. Again, I do not give two fucks about how someone feels on it. Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm in a place of work. I'm not here to educate you on something socially what happened with black people or African people or Caribbean people, because they're all black people in general. Like, oh, well, if it's so lovely there, why don't you go back there? That's not where I was born. I was born here. Simple. Not going anywhere. That ain't up for discussion. But people will do that once you start telling them your personality or who you are. Oh, my parents are from Jamaica. Oh, my parents are from St. Lucia. Oh, St. Lucia's a lovely place. I've been on holiday. You should go back there. Why should I go back there? And why did you go there in the first place? Again, this gets into a why and why conversation, isn't it? You know, each and every is up to you to entertain people of that nature or even go back and forward. But what I'm saying to people is you heard how direct and clear I was on the first one. And the first one, I held no prisoners because their life experiences, their shit, what's happened to me, is things which made me have looked at other people and said, "Oh, I didn't know you could be like that. I didn't know why you would want to be like that towards me." Again, I haven't done anything to you personally, but some people think otherwise. Sometimes people, but you can't be discouraged by a few individuals, because there is always a few individuals who are gonna try to trigger you or try to speak to you in ways which you know is disrespectful. You know, it's either you rise to it or you rise above it. But I will tell people now, the bantering jokes, the jokes that you don't like, the things what people say to oh, I was only joking when I said that about black people and all that, or like about you being a robber or being in jail or selling drugs. I was only joking. I couldn't tell you how the other generation feel, or the younger generations feel about what they see, what's going on in life, innit? With how people become prejudiced or racist towards others just because of their skin type. I couldn't tell you how they feel. But those are the people actually going to set things for the future. It's not like the generation which goes on now. Don't get me wrong. Generation which goes on now, it's difficult because, like I said, I've been to sites, and I was working with a white guy, and he's not fully white. He's like Italian or whatever. Yeah. So we would go to the site, and I would say, "Is there any jobs?" They would say, "No, there's no jobs there." Then the white guy would jump out 10 minutes later. He would say, "Is there any jobs?" Be like, "Yeah, there's some jobs. Come back at 2 o'clock, or come back tomorrow at 9 o'clock." So we'd come back together, and they'll be like, "Oh, yeah, this is my pal who I work with." What are they gonna say to you then? And once we started realizing that was a little flex on certain sites, because they would tell me no and tell him yes. And again, for what reason, I don't know. I never really tried to play into it too long, but we always had this pack that anyone who told us that when we went to a site, because I went to numerous amounts of sites and they'd done it, places like Collindale, I was in. There was a place near, so yeah, near Collindale, and it was near. There was another one which was in the top of, where was that? That was near, like at the top of Enfield. There was a site what was like that. Um, was that a surprise? Not really. I say I'm not surprised because I grew up in a time where I see a lot of racism on TV. Do you get it? I don't even watch TV, but I see a lot of racism on TV. So I know that that behavior only spills out into society, and people find it acceptable to be discriminative of someone just due to the color of their skin. Just because I see it, don't mean I accept it, or don't mean that I just get down with it. I know that I've got priorities, which are my bills. So to be able to say like, "Oh no, I don't even want to be here. Let's just get the little bit of money for the week, little £1,000, and let's keep it chipping to somewhere else." And we'd blatantly tell them that we're not coming back Monday. So yeah, just pay us for the week and just leave it as that, mate. Keep it moving. And it was mainly just because of we had that interaction with them from the beginning. But that is something that me and him done, you know, like, and I respect him for that at the end of the day. You didn't have to keep doing that because of me, but we came and we worked on price as a pair. So that's what would happen. We would go to the site again. Look, people would say, "No, there's no jobs there." Then they would say for the other person, "Yeah, there's jobs." And I don't know if it was people having a preference on who they want to deal with, but on face value, it was very what it looked like. Bit of old school racism, you know? Like it's just if you can take it at the end of the day. And I feel that not all of our skins are thick, ready for that type of um problematic problem, which you shouldn't be facing when you go to work. I know a lot of people do face it in other areas of life, but with construction, it's very in your face. And you might be a really good worker, but it's the rest of the people who will get the shine. That's what I see a lot as well. I don't see equal opportunities. And I've said it before. I was on like fixed radio and they asked me a question. Do you see equality within trades? Fucking trade are you looking at? What fucking trade papers are you guys looking at? Definitely not, boys. When you see a brown, black boy or girl and you see the tree of command of the company, the director, some funny looking geezer, the chief of director, next funny looking person, chief of health and safety, funny looking person again, general manager, you don't even know. You don't even know where that person's background's from. Again, another funny looking person. And when you see the people who work underneath, very multicultural, because they're a service-based business, and what they're showing people service-wise is that we employ multicultural people. Cool. But why is none of your managers brown or black? Do you get it? Why are we never giving away poppadoms inside work? Why are we never celebrating Eid? Why are we never celebrating Black History Month inside your workplace? You get it? You get people who are of that color and background and different races or religions. Why is it they're not included in the workplace? Are they not part of the culture? Are they not part of the workplace? This is the micro racism, what you're gonna find on the surface level before you get into something, yeah. And I say that because I used to work for like one big company, and they used to have a Black History Month, yeah. So they had like a few different events on at different times. So it's set up for them, blah 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 blah. Um, I was doing some subcontracting, so I used to work for one place, and I was subbing. So I'll tell you that it was Mighty basically. And one of the Mighty managers said to me, "Why don't they get over all this slavery and stop having Black History Month?" And I said to myself, "Wow, you are really dumb. You are a dumb 50-year-old man." It would pain me more to answer you and explain shit what you is obviously over your head to understand or comprehend why this event is going on. But between me and you, as we got to down the stairs, I turned around and said to him, "Don't ever fucking ask me anything like that again. Do you understand? I'm here for work and work only. I'm not here to talk to you about anything else, any extra bits. Because it'd be a shame if you fell coming down these stairs now, wouldn't it? Yeah, don't ask me that. Because I'm not here for that." Um, I felt that was a seriously underlining comment what someone would say who is the age of 50, 50, and you ain't got no common sense to be able to work out that that's not what it's about, and that this way of me asking a question to someone who is black on Black History Month, knowingly that I do know my history, that that's the wrong way to go about it, that will trigger someone to answer you in a way where you might while out. You might say, what the fuck is going on here?" And that's not something I did want to do or lose my character to some degree. I was getting good money there. I knew he was that person was an arsehole anyway. I knew there was an arsehole from before when they would try and tell me about another African fella who was at work, who he was a little bit lazy, but he was a grown ass man getting ready for his retirement. I don't think any grown ass man who's getting ready for their retirement, like I'm talking 2 3 years waiting, they're gonna be busting their nuts every day. Be stupid. That guy's old enough to be your dad. Why is he going to be doing that? You're going to get someone who is less energetic at that age. You don't have the energy to be doing the rigorous tasks what you do need to be doing. So again, um, I always thought he chose his words, but you could see and understand if you've been around enough people like that, they're the types of people who antagonize you to say or do something, whether it's act out or act irrationally, and it could be a reason for him and you not to get along. I don't like you because you said this. I don't like you because you done this thing to me, or you do you know what I mean? Blowing up your situation while trying to make what they've said to you all the time really small. Oh, there was nothing what I said to you about black people and slaves. It was inappropriate. That's what it was. Whether you feel that needs an apology, that's up to you. You know, I was I'll be honest with you, look, I'm never looking for an apology from an individual like that because I understand they don't hold the capacity to be able to do something like that. So you just need to be wary of dealing with individuals that are even capable of saying stuff like that to you because again, it's soul breaking, it's disrespectful, but I think most of those people who are like that, they get kicks off of stuff like that, innit? Off of people. They get kicks off being able to push people's buttons to a certain degree. And especially you being a person of color, they think that you're always in the need. And another thing I want to say is what you find a lot of black and brown people within construction overdoing it a bit too much, doing too much for somebody else just to try and prove that they are the person who they need to be, which I did say to you about at times you're going to have to work two times extra. But when I mean the extra stuff, it's like, oh, yes, sir, 3 bags full, sir. Look, it's similar to like boarding on to being an Uncle Tom vibe, but just bending over backwards extra for those individuals, but not respecting yourself because it's a lot of dignity and self pride which gets taken out of you by doing that. Because again, those people are pushing the boundaries with you, not respecting you like others get respected, and talking to you within some ways which might sound like, oh, you're blunt or you're very direct. You don't speak to anybody like that. Just not a good way. It's not a fair way. You wouldn't like if someone else spoke to you like that. You wouldn't dare speak to these people like that outside of the parameters of this building. So why are you doing it today? What made you so God willing that God said to you in your ear when you were sleeping, yo, little man, go and talk to these people like that. Don't be stupid. Sometimes they want to get you out of character so you could say, meet me outside. Come meet me outside. You know what's gonna happen when you come outside, innit? Come. Because I'm from that era where I've said to people, I'm not gonna lie to you. I shared no lies on my channel. I've told some people back in the day, come outside. He's talking to me in a funny way. Come outside. I want to talk to you. And I could bring one of my friends on here as a witness who's seen it. He's seen me say that to people. Come outside. I'm not a small person. I'm not a person who's prepared to fight the whole world, but I know that some of these people who are come against inside the workplace, you're a dweeb. You're a fool. But if I get out of my character, I lose my paycheck. What I come here for, which I don't want to do because I want to maintain a level of professionalness with boundaries and barriers, so I don't have to get out of my box and just try and. Yeah, you heard how that sounded. I don't need to do that. I don't want to do that. But I think that there's enough characters to be able to pull you away from your level of professionalness, which will make you strike out on people. And sometimes we as young black people, we need time to think about our actions before we do them. I know sometimes people think they can take you for some idiot and they can talk to you in some type of way, but there's many different ways to return that same type of energy to someone. And if you feel like it's coming from that negative side of place, my honest advice is distance your fucking self from them people. Like, there's nothing wrong to say to someone, do you know what? You see the type of energy what I get from you, yeah? It's not for me. And you don't have to explain. Don't explain. Explaining is going into a rabbit hole. For someone to understand how you feel in life is very rare. Even if people tell you, yeah, I get what you mean. Like, I was talking to someone who I know is Indian, yeah, and he told me that he was on a podcast, which is online, which some of you lot might watch anyway. And he was telling me that, like, he goes, yeah, man, because when I was telling them that they didn't know what it's like coming from an Indian background, they kind of understood what I meant. How? They're not Indian. Not even I understand. I'm not Indian. I can comprehend. I can say, yeah, I guess it must have been hard because I didn't grow up Indian. Simple. Everybody grows up in their own skin, and when you get older, you probably experience different cultures, lifestyles, people's way of life. You're intrigued by others, in it. You go to Spain, you're intrigued by the Spanish man. You go to Mallorca, still in Spain. No, you go to other places. Let's say you go to Morocco, yeah. You see how the East African people live, right? You go to somewhere like Jamaica, you see how Caribbean people are. It's very different to African people. Go to Nigeria, you go to Lagos, you go to all of these different continents, because they're continents, not countries. And you find out what they're like for themselves. People do have traits which are very similar to where they come from, but every person can't have a stigma about them, because when people move, they pick up on other culture. Do you get it? Why do you think people love Indian curry in this country? Vindaloo. Make it make sense, guys, man. Because when I thought about doing this part 2 video, yeah, I thought to myself, I could come in all guns fucking blazing and tell you what, this, that, but let's keep it real, man. Again, at the beginning of the video, I told you that this shit, what I do now, yeah, it's televised. I record it because I want to see a change. And it's not just me that has got a platform to be able to do it. There's others. There's others that don't talk about these types of issues because just afraid of just not getting fucking um deals with little brands. At the end of the day, the deals with the little brands is one thing. It's good, it's great, but I don't speak about anything which is not out there. I don't speak about anything which is not my lived reality. Again, I'm not being disrespectful because I'm not naming anyone individually. We're just talking about the whole thing and how it happens and just how people can help others. You know, I think that sometimes someone just asking you, how are you? How's your day? Make you feel more comfortable, confident when you're in the room. Sometimes people won't even bother to do that because truly they don't care. They don't care about how your day is, how you are. Don't care if you're the only person of color, whether that be brown or black, inside the room. They don't care about any of that. They're just looking at this and saying like, oh, I hope he's not like that person. And there's so much people that get judged by others, whether it was something they've done, whether it was anything. You know, your sons could listen to drill music, and that's the reason why you don't like young black men who wear um, Nike hoodies, Nike techs. You don't like it, but you wear Nike tech when you go to the gym. So what's the difference? We're dealing with a lot of people's insecurities and their problems at this time in life, and a lot of people need counseling. They need to speak to someone about why they feel a certain way about people and why a certain demographic of people must prove themselves to them just so they can see them as normal citizens, normal people that just want to do a normal day's work and just live their life. You don't have to ask them what they're putting in the microwave. You can see there's something in a Tupperware box and some rice. You don't know what it is. You don't even eat rice on a regular. So why are you asking? That smells funny coming from the microwave. It's ethnic food. You might not like it. Spicy, flavorsome. It's got red stuff on it. Yeah, it's not for you. It's okay to be curious, but this whole digging deep and asking questions, I can understand why some black professionals and people who have been in their jobs for a long period of time keep themselves to themselves, because it's all about trying to maintain it, and that is sometimes not in engaging in one and twos with people. Sometimes it's too much, man. Sometimes it's best to know less. Like, you realize if someone's your real friend if they invite you to your house. If these people are not inviting you to your house, stop claiming them as your friends. Yeah, they follow you on Facebook. It's only to keep tabs on you, man. It's only to make sure that you're not putting nothing up in your status. The level of scrutiny that sometimes you will face compared to others, yeah, is not something that you can compare, something that you're ready for, but it's something that you got to be clean cut about. And I think it's due to people not want to giving people opportunities, because again, if any workplace gives you an opportunity as a young black man, you can either do well, do the things what you need to do, or you can fuck it up for yourself. But the level of scrutiny comes down quicker and faster than anybody else. I've been at workplaces and I'm concentrating on working and just trying to have a good environment inside the workplace. And I've worked with guys, white guys, and they're sniffing coke when we're at work. Other people are telling me, but if I don't see them do it, I can't call someone out on it. It's not none of my business. If you've got a drug habit, a drug problem, and stuff like that, it's none of my business. But it's very common within the trade what I work in. Again, I don't diss people for it because I don't know what they're going through, and maybe they need help instead of someone saying, "Oh, put that down. Stop putting up your nose." Remember, they grew up with people putting up their nose on EastEnders, these types of things. I used to see these things on EastEnders. Remember when Ian Bill was crying in the toilet and Phil, you know what Phil done to him in the toilet? He done some nastiness to him. Just said, Phil, you savage. You get it? So people have kind of took that attitude and just ran with it in life and made themselves a Phil Mitchell or Grant, bald head geezer, doing bits, talking to people in types of ways. But that's not how everybody is who looks like that. The majority of the people that do look like that, sometimes they perpetuate that image. They throw it out there. I'm an hard nut. I'm this. I'm that. You're not really just a normal guy. If you get slapped, you might cry. Just a normal thing to do. But what I'm saying is, through my experiences, yeah, it's always led me to understand that there are some shitty people out there. It's the truth. How you have your antennas on, which they can't see, to be able to detect the bullshit is up to you. But you've got to use your own methods, whether it's a way of protecting yourself, your energy from others, which you should always do. Don't always give your energy to people willy nilly. It's not that type of world we live in today. People are disrespectful. Remember, I've told you that. So protect your energy in some type of way. Make sure that you have enough space which doesn't make you feel vulnerable to doing things what you don't have to do, but people ask you to do. If they start asking you to make the coffee or make the tea, that's not what your job was. Your job role is nothing to do with something like that. If you feel like someone's treating you a bit like a skivvy now and you want to wheel it back in, you need to make sure you've got like a safe place where you can speak to people. People think that I'm not here for that. I'm here to earn a living. I'm here to make money. I'm here to be this person who, whatever, in construction, and I'm not here to make the tea for people. But you need to be in a safe environment so you can be able to talk to someone about that. And that's not a safe environment if people are disrespecting you on your race or on how you are in general and not taking you seriously. I'm not trying to say all these people like that in construction, because they're not. But there's a majority of people who are like that, and there's a majority of people that will always blackball people of color for getting anything or getting anywhere because they prefer their friends than you. And then when I say they're friends, it's just a group of like other individuals, whatever color they might be, and they choose to be some type of it's like a gate master, because they're not ringmasters, they're gate masters. So they control how they open the gate, the floodgate for people or not. So they see somebody who's got super potential, but what they want to do is they want to make money off those people and exploit them instead of giving them the opportunities what they need to get through. So this is why I always tell people to have your antennas on, have your wits about you when you're meeting with people. I know we all want to make money, and that's the point of being in this industry, but sometimes as those individuals, as like a young black man, yeah, you will get used a lot more and never get the rewards for what you have been doing, because you might not have the accolades. Your skills might not be up to the par, and when they are up to the par, they're still going to pay you shit money anyway, because they said, I've invested training in you, I've invested doing this in you, I've done this for you. So you've done nothing for yourself. That's what it makes it sound like, when you have done a lot for yourself, but sometimes you might not have the links. So the knowing the right people in the right places to be able to move you from one checkered spot into another checkered spot, because that's what the game is. It's just about moving your pieces into the key places like chess, so you can make your king get to the other side. And that's what it's about. Sometimes it's about making sense from these people and the opportunities what they propose to you, because they're not always a full-blown opportunity of growth for you when you look at it financially or long term. But some of us look at things short term and understand that that's what we're dealing with at the moment, and to see anything further, I would have to see some financial changes, or see a position which I didn't think was available. So it's a road of working hard. I wouldn't be in it if it was totally fucked. I'm in it because I'm more of a survivor, to be honest with you. I mean, I've been through all those things, and it definitely tells me certain red flags. I don't tell you that they're not red flags. If they wasn't red flags, I wouldn't fucking talk about them. And for a long time when they did happen, I had to have um I had to have the right mindset to be able to talk about it on camera, because I didn't want it to seem like I did nothing about it. I always did affirmative action about it, an immediate reaction as well. Whether it became to the point of, oh, you're going to be a whistleblower, oh, you're going to be a telltale. Telltale, cool, man. This ain't court or nothing, you know. I don't say nothing in court, but this work. I say what I want. I care if I'm telling you that he said that. Yes, he did say that. I know that they didn't like stuff like that when I would say stuff, because I'm telling the truth. Like, why do I have to tell the director that your manager's racist? Why have I got to send you an email about it? It's like you're not vetting the people, but you want me to work with them. I can't work with someone who's like that. There might be a bit of prejudice towards myself. Like, I'm not a token guy. I'm not on that. Never have been on a token person. Say what I want to say. Like that. You saw it the first time. No, don't let me do it again. But like I said in the beginning, man, nobody can't give up on their dream if this is something that you want to do. This has been something that I have been doing for a long period of time. Don't really think about changing my trajectory of what I'm doing. I just know that a lot of great things within time has taken a lot of change. It's taken a lot of persistence, and it's taken people who want to see a change to make it happen. And it's not uncommon for me to see people who have not really had the same type of experiences what I had. It's just what some people are comfortable with talking about. I'm comfortable with talking about uncomfortable shit. Like, whether you like it or not, this is some people's realities. Hopefully it's not someone's reality every day, because I can understand how that would wear down on your gears. I wouldn't want to be that person. But if you have had any experience like this before, or you found this helpful, what I'm talking about, which is people facing the race card, people facing the race within business, the black card, the black you're not accepted card within business. The card as in the Joey card, as if you get this card, you're now automatically allowed to be around this higher tier people, but you have to be a Joey for them. You have to be a runaround. You have to accept some type of talk from these people. And the talk is going to be disrespectful at some point. But here's this little bit of money. Keep doing it. And make sure your soul isn't hurt by some of the things what they say to you, because it's not personal. It's just business. Have your boundaries about you people, man. That's the one thing I would say. When you got boundaries, yeah, people know not to cross certain lines with you. Most stuff is televised. When people are disrespectful, you see how quick that gets. Snapchat, Instagram, run the numbers up. If someone is rude to you, people make videos about these things now. They want to know how the deeper community feel about it. And it is deep because, I made a video on this last time, and within 5 days, I had 10,000 views on it. Was I surprised? Yeah, I was. Am I going to be a surprise this time? I don't know. I gave you the harsh truth last time. I'm giving you a bit of reflection with reality this time, which is, even though you heard me say about the harsh truth, my reality is that I'm in this trade. I'm not going anywhere. And things can always be resolved and worked out at a point which you're comfortable and confident with. And again, the people pleasing thing has got to stop to some degree, people. It's not helping anybody. It's not helping anyone. I think too much of the people pleasing thing allows people to take away this level of respect what they have for you. And the level of respect should always reflect on your money. If they respect you, but they want to talk to you in a funny way, might have to pay me like triple to what it's worth. And then we're still going to have a talk about your saying, because again, I charge people for talking to me in a funny way as well. Anyway, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, people. It's that conversation what you need to hear, innit? Let's get it.